that they can. You can't prevent everything, but they are really trying. Now, in the southern Kaduna general area, where we have a bit of banditry, but greater risks of ethnic and religious clashes, we have these operations too. Operation Safe Haven, headquartered in Jos. We have a mobile police squadron in Kafanchan. We bought housing estate, 150 million, and gave it to the police so that they can have a mobile police squadron in Kafanchan after the 2016 crisis that affected Kafanchan and 2 other local governments. Since then, Kafanchan has been quiet, since we had a mobile police squadron. We have Nigerian Navy troops in Kachia, in Kujama, in Makali, and we have all this, and troops at Kasua Magani, and special forces, and so on. So, as far as southern Kaduna is concerned, it has been really quiet, other than Zangon Katav local government, where the Katavs and the Fulanis are now at war with each other. Even that, I think, has gone down, and we have Nigerian Air Force Special Forces. Kaduna Airport area had also been attacked once or twice, so there is a continued patrol there and operations there. So that place has been quiet. Kaduna Airport, of course, and NDA are close together. And you all know when the bandits tried to go into NDA and succeeded in even arresting, kidnapping an officer. But they tried recently and they were wiped out because we knew they were coming, so they were ready for them. And I think about 30 of them were killed or something like that. Yeah. Next slide, please. So what we've always said is the way to end this banditry is simultaneous military and ground operations. If we have the Air Force bombing the camps, we know where the camps are. We have the maps. We know everything. We have their phone numbers. We listen to their conversations sometimes. So, but it has to be done across the 5 states and Niger State at the same time. What we've been doing over the years is you go to Zamfara, you chase them out, they move to Sokoto. You go to Sokoto, you chase them out, they move to Kebbi. From Kebbi, they move to Katsina, Kaduna. And they move seamlessly because of the forest ranges. So what needs to be done is, at the same time, bomb the forests, bomb the camps, and have ground troops on the ground as a blocking force, consisting of the army, the police, the Air Force Special Forces, Navy Special Forces on the ground, and just wipe them out once and for all. Of course, that has risks because some of the camps may also contain innocent people that have been kidnapped. But this is war. In war, you always have collateral damage, unfortunately. And if we continue piecemeal approach to this banditry, it will continue to grow because the amount of money these guys are making is so much that they will not stop. I'm convinced of that. Because the average Fulani man makes 200,000, 300,000 when he sells one of his bulls that is too tired. They don't usually sell their cows unless they are totally exhausted. Now, this same person now gets millions from kidnapping. He will never go back to that life. This is why I'm convinced that the only solution is to wipe them all out. Or at least decimate them to a point that it is no longer feasible or profitable for you to think you can be in that business. Because it is a business. That's what it is. So, please go back to the previous slide. So, this is what we're working on now. And we've got our vigilance service also armed. And when I say we, I'm not talking about Kaduna State alone. I'm talking about Niger. I'm talking about Kebbi. I'm talking about, all of us. We work together. We are all on the same page that we need to do this. And we're working with the military We regularly confer with the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Chief of, IG. We're working on this, so we think that we're at a tipping point that we are going to see the end of this very soon, by the grace of God. Next slide. On the advice of the military, we also, implemented some steps like, shutting down mobile networks for a while. We restrict the use of motorcycles because these bandits use motorcycles for logistics. It is motorcyclists that carry food to them, drugs, and even ammunition. We also suspended weekly markets to cut off food supply to them, and that has been quite effective, and so on and so forth. So all these measures we've been taking to, to bring an end to this. But in addition to this, next slide, you see some of the soft initiatives, because like in southern Kaduna, even when we have enough security footprint there, people must choose to live in peace. So you still have to engage in some dialogue and peace building and community, and that's why we established the Kaduna Peace Commission. Plateau also has a peace building agency, but our own Peace Commission has enjoyed international support, Ford Foundation, U.S. Institutes of Peace, and so on. In fact, our first executive vice chairman has just been offered a job by the African Union because she has been so good in handling that job that she caught the attention of the African Union. So she's moved to Addis. Bishop Josiah Ido-Ferron, the Secretary General of the Anglican Communion Worldwide, based in London, is the chairman. And then we have a group of priests on both sides of the religious divide, Muslims and Christians. They have formed what they call House of Kaduna Family. And they basically engage in peace building and preaching for peaceful coexistence and so on and so forth. We've also enacted a religious preaching law to license preachers, because we believe that most of the problems that were caused in Kaduna State were caused by people that did not go to seminary or did not get proper training to be imams, and they somehow declare themselves prophets or bishops or sheikhs and get on a podium and spew out hatred and all kinds of stuff. The history of Kaduna State shows that. And that's why this law was originally enacted in 1984 by the military regime of Air Commodore Usman Muazu when President Buhari was head of state. That was when it was first enacted, but we looked at it, we passed it through the democratic process and updated the law and also reduced the militariness in it, let me put it that way. And all this have helped in trying to build peace in the state. We've also spent a lot of money on technology. We are the first state to buy drones, UAVs, for surveillance. And that's why when I say we know where these bandits are, we do. We know where they are. We've invested in the technology. We are also doing what we call Safe City project. We are putting TV cameras, CCTV all over Kaduna metropolis so that when crime takes place, we can get your face, we can get the number plate of your car, it's quite, the cameras are really advanced cameras, biometric quality. And they're being, we've finished the first phase done by an American company. The second phase is being done by Huawei. And before the end of this year, by the grace of, no, by end of May, I think, by the grace of God, Kaduna will be covered. Then we'll move to Zaria and Kafanchan. We are also building a forensic laboratory because